Today I want to talk about how the partner that you choose, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, or wife, will affect your career development, and how flexible you are in pursuing it. The career that you choose will affect at least two things in your life. The first one is the time you actually spend working, and the second one is your finances, which means your income as well as your spending habits. Until you get married, because once you get married or you get into a long-term or more serious relationship, then it's no longer just about you. And it's likely that many things will change, from the type of coffee you buy to the movies you choose to watch and how you want to spend your weekends even. But what about careers? How will your partner's life goals, principles, lifestyles ultimately affect your career and the flexibility that you will have to pursue the kind of career that you want? So in my case, it worked out pretty well. Before I even got married, and at the time I was still dating my boyfriend, I was pretty open with him about what kind of goals I had in life and what kind of career I envisioned myself to have. And I told him openly that I was interested to pursue something in the entertainment industry, including acting and filmmaking, and it turned out that he was also interested in pursuing a creative career. It wasn't really challenging for us to accommodate each other's needs because we were more or less on the same track. And because of that, because we could support each other so well, what happened in the following years is that each of us really felt like they had the flexibility to pursue the kind of career they wanted. And from there, we even ended up producing 2 feature films together, and in the end, we even decided to go to Canada so that one of us could study film business so we could get ahead in our film producing skills. So for us, it went pretty well, at least until now, but it can also be the other way around. There are in fact many relationship dynamics where either one or even both of the people in the relationship can become very limited in pursuing their career because one or the other party sets some kind of expectations on the other that the other might not be aware of because it's never been communicated in the beginning. So let's say that one person in the relationship has the kind of job which requires him or her to travel regularly, let's say several days within each month, whereas the other person in the relationship wants and places great value on having dinner together every single day of the month. So in the long term, that kind of relationship will be very difficult. Let's take another example. This is maybe more a traditional case where a husband, for example, expects the wife to be the primary caregiver and stay at home and look after the children. And let's say that at the same time, this woman actually is a very ambitious person and wants to go after her career goal to be the company director at the company where she is working at. So in the long term, this will turn out to be very difficult because she might be feeling in the end that she's missing out on something. And the last example is if one person in the relationship wants to have a very high living standard, or let's say a very luxurious life. If he or she really likes to have a lot of expensive cars and likes to go and stay at expensive resorts several times in a year, then that means that at least one of the people in the relationship, or maybe even both, need to earn a high income, which makes it necessary for both of them to work really hard and perhaps stay in their careers. So in that case, they might not be able to afford, let's say, the luxury, people perceive it as a luxury, to change careers or explore other career paths. So in that case, if one of the people in the relationship suddenly thinks that they want to explore something different, or maybe go into freelancing or even take a sabbatical and explore something else, then the other person who feels that that the need to have this luxurious life is the most important thing might not be very happy about it. And here I'm not placing any value judgment at all about what kind of life or what kind of goals are better. You can do whatever you want. You can be a freelancer, you can be a corporate person, an entrepreneur, or a stay-at-home mom. Everyone has different kind of goals and priorities in their life. But what I'm saying here, that it is very, very important that before you get into marriage or a serious relationship, that you at least talk a bit about it. Talk a bit about your goals, what your vision of life is, what kind of career you think that you want to have. Because if you talk about these things in advance, then there will be less misunderstandings, and each person in the relationship can think about it in advance and think about how much sacrifices they will be willing to make going forward, and also in how far they will be able to accommodate the other person's needs and goals. So if you're starting to get a bit more serious in your relationship, and especially if you're starting to think about marriage, then you definitely need to address this very important question about career goals and life goals in general. And in order to be able to do this, of course, first of all, you need to know yourself. You yourself need to know what you want for your life and what kind of career you envision. It's not an easy thing to do, and it really takes time to explore that. But I do think that this is our personal responsibility. We have the responsibility to know what we want first and to communicate it to our partner. Because if we don't do that, then we might get into a serious relationship with the wrong expectations, and we might get very disappointed and disillusioned. If in your life you have some career goals that you still feel you want to pursue, but you just didn't have the time or courage to go after, then I would really encourage you to spend some time to think about it, and then also try to communicate it to your partner. Let's say that now you're working in the corporate world, but you're seriously thinking about going into freelancing because this would allow you to have more time with your family. But maybe you have some concerns about what kind of effect that will have on your living standard and so on. Then why not sit down with your partner and have a serious talk about it? Who knows, maybe they are thinking the same way that you are, and maybe they are even open to the idea. So don't just assume up front that they will not be open to the idea and that they won't like it. I will be uploading more videos on multiple careers and career change every week, so if you don't want to miss out on any videos, you might want to hit the subscribe button and also the little notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, have an awesome day, and see you again soon.